So how many people watch pornography? Nobody. Okay. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, but nobody watches it. I wonder where they get their money. Maybe from our members of parliament. When they're getting in touch with their lower house members, if you know what I mean. I saw some Indian pornography on the internet recently. And you know, the worst thing about Indian porn is the bad language. And by that I mean the grammatically bad language. Like there was this video titled, Indian couple hardly having sex. So I thought, I'm not going to watch that if they're hardly doing anything. But then I understood what they meant when I saw another video called Indian couple very hardly having sex. Just research for the show, of course, nothing else, no personal interest. There are two kinds of adult movie actors in India, the elite class and the delete class. But pornography is available everywhere. Recently I was walking down the street and I saw a guy sitting in a small shop selling magazines and pictures of naked women. I asked him, what's your business? He said, I'm a retailer. Then later I saw this half-naked woman standing at a street corner waiting for some kind of client, and I asked her, what's your business? And she said, I'm a wholesaler. You didn't get the whole joke, did you? Whole joke. Anyway, so enough about sex, man. I mean, let's talk about something serious. Like, are you guys engaged or anything? Do you have a girlfriend?
Right now, no.
I'm not surprised. No, actually, he's a handsome guy. So, Acha, are you planning on getting married? And if so, like, will your parents arrange it? Will you pick your wife or what?
I'm just 18,
Can't even think about that. Oh, he doesn't even know what sex is. Acha, okay. Anybody older than 18 here? You. Acha, will your parents pick your wife or will you pick her?
I will.
You will? Okay, love marriage, that's very cute and all that, but I am not sure if that's the right choice. Because do you know the difference between arranged marriage and love marriage? Arranged marriage is when you start sleeping together only after marriage. Love marriage is when you stop. A while back, I met this couple and I asked the guy, are you married to this lovely lady? And he was speechless, which proved he was married, because married men don't get to speak very much. Some animal is attacking me. Oh, okay, it's Ajay. Give Ajay a round of applause then. Okay. Not you, man, me. Be careful, he'll attack you also. Anyway, I'm sure you and your girlfriend will make a good couple when you meet her. You'll call each other sweet names like baby, honey, dog, bitch. I know that women do like to be called sweet names like baby or honey, really bitch, though it doesn't always work. For example, once I was walking in the woods with my girlfriend and a ferocious, hungry bear crossed our path. And I made a big mistake. I called her honey. And that was the end of her, because bears love honey too. That's why my next girlfriend gave me a tie for my birthday. And she said, please don't give it away to anyone. I said, then who the will wear it? This ugly thing, meaning the tie, not my girlfriend. That ugly thing. Then later she told me she wanted to have a physical relationship with me. At first I was very happy. But I didn't realize what it meant was that I was going to have a black eye every few days. A bit too physical. What's more, eventually she got influenced by the book 50 Shades of Grey and wanted to try some of that stuff on me. Well, I don't know about 50 Shades of Grey, but I certainly turned 50 shades of black and blue. At least. But speaking of physicality, I'm really glad that Bollywood movies are showing more and more sex these days. No longer do people just run around trees instead of having sex. In fact, do you know the reason why people traditionally never had sex in Bollywood movies? Because people were totally exhausted after running around trees so much. And recently, I live in Calcutta. A good Bengali lady friend of mine was with me in my car until I wanted to park it at the New Market so-called Simplex Parkomat in Calcutta. Though I don't know why they named it after the herpes virus, Simplex. As I was parking, she asked me, shall I go down now? I said, no, it's too late for that. You can do that later when we get home. Just get off now, please, and maybe later too in a different way. You know what go down means? There's one innocent person here. A go down is a warehouse, right? At least in British East Asian English. Back in my car the other day, I was driving along with my girlfriend when suddenly she said, oh, look, there's a ladies' cycle. I said, how do you know it's a ladies' cycle? She said, because it doesn't have a rod in front. So I just started laughing and said, you know, you make it sound as if people have sex with their cycles when they're riding them. So what if you had a cycle which both men and women could ride? What would you call that? She thought about it and then she said, well, I guess that would be a bicycle. Her name is Sonia, which is quite a common name. In fact, just last week I met this guy who told me his wife's name was also Sonia. I said, what a coincidence. My girlfriend is called Sonia too. And then we were joined by his wife. And you know, it turned out to be an even bigger coincidence. And I thought, because it was the same woman, so that was the end of her second honeymoon period. No, they did not have a son called Rahul. It's not that big a coincidence. Obviously, the reason she got involved with me was that she and her man were no longer in love with each other, which is why most of the time she had started using a dildo. But then she met me and she gave me her heart and she asked me for my heart. She said, Dil mujhe de do, please mujhe dil do. So I gave her a dildo. Actually, in relationships, people do some pretty crazy things. There was this husband who, throughout the year, kept telling his wife he was not going to celebrate her birthday because she did not deserve it. Turns out that was because he was actually planning a surprise party. The only problem was he did the same thing every year, so by that time she was just ignoring him. What an idiot. In fact, some people say women prefer to marry idiots. But then, what choice do women have? Yeah, you know, because all men fall in that category. Generally, I would say one of the hardest things for a human being to do is to act surprised at a surprise party and say, oh, what a surprise. I had no idea you were planning this. Because I have no brain in my head at all. It's like Ms. Banerjee pretending she's surprised that people are not investing in Bengal, or Narendra Modi pretending his college degree is authentic. Or Kapil Sharma pretending to be a comedian. Or Rahul Gandhi pretending not to be a comedian.